are joined by Stanford student athletes Lexie Hull and Haley Jones, and head coach Tara VanDerveer. Tara, if you'd like to make an opening statement, then we'll open it up to the group for questions.
Is this on, John?
It is.
All right. Well, first of all, it's great to see everybody in person. I don't know that we could do another Zoom, but we're really excited. Last year feels a little bit like a blur, but it was we got through a lot, and congratulations to the Pac-12 to have 2 teams in the championship game and 6 teams in the tournament. And we're going to be greedy, go for more next year. We're very excited about our season, and really excited to have both Lexie and Haley here with me today.
Michelle Smith, Pac12.com. Tara, how does it, and I'm going to ask the players just to answer this as well. How does it feel different when you're coming off a national championship when you're starting another season, when now you're defending a national championship?
Hi, Michelle. Great to see you. You just have a little more spring in your step. It's really exciting. We have 12 of our 13 players back, a great group of newcomers, and people on our team know what it takes, and they're working really hard, and we have a lot of confidence, but also very realistic. I kind of used this analogy already today, but we're not driving down the road looking in the rearview mirror. That would be a crash. We are looking forward. Every once in a while, we might look in the rearview mirror and say, yeah, we did have a great year, but we're looking forward.
Yeah, I think coming off a national championship run like last year, we know what it takes to get there, and we want to go for another one. So we also understand that we have a very big target on our backs, and I think we welcome that, and that just kind of motivates us to compete at practice every day harder, do extra reps, get in the gym, stay late, get there early, just kind of do all the extra things because we know what it took last year, but it's going to mean even more and need even more to get it again.
And I also think to add to that, there's obviously a lot of expectations for us, but I think having gone through that experience, we're definitely really hungry to feel those emotions again that we felt following that championship win. So I think we're just getting more and more excited as the games get closer.
Hi, ladies. Yeah, John.
Yeah,
okay. Janie McCauley from AP. Nice to see everybody. When you do look back and see what this team accomplished, being on the road for 10, 11 weeks, I think it was, and just everything that you went through, and to have almost the whole group back, what does that mean for going forward and trying to repeat?
I think our team is really close because of that year. All 13 of us extremely close, spending majority of our time together throughout our entire season. So I think coming back that we have a lot of chemistry, and to keep building on that and really teach the freshmen and the incoming grad transfer in Jordan that that's what it takes, and the chemistry we need to keep building and work off of that.
I think Lexie pretty much covered it, but I think we know we lost a big piece in Kiana, but I think that she left a lot with us and how much she brought to the team, if that's in leadership or what she brought on the court. I think that she instilled so much of her leadership and just who she was as a person in the rest of us. So we're picking up the slack. I think everybody's sharper, better than last year, and we just want to continue to grow that and continue to kind of cultivate our culture that we have at Stanford, and kind of keep that championship mentality going into this season because we have the same goals as last year.
Joan Bomasani, Pac-12 Networks. Hey, Tara. Charbon mentioned, she was in right before you, something very interesting, and it's true. After you guys won, there were the Aguma K's taking selfies with Kiana, and Kiana has the net, and then you guys all get a ring, and the Aguma K's don't have it, right? You've been in this a long time. Your perspective of how hard it is to win a championship. And luck, too.
I think sometimes, obviously we've had some great teams and great teams that have gone to the Final Four and knocked on the door, but, for whatever reason, sometimes you get beat at the buzzer. Last year's championship, I think we're the only team to win a semifinal and a final game by 1 point. So maybe there's some karma for that. But it is very challenging. And I think we probably have had maybe 10 teams that could have won, and this team did win. And this team won because they really stuck together. We made plays down the stretch that we had to make. We made defensive stops that we had to make. But, obviously it wasn't a given. I think it was really good that we had these masks because you didn't want to know what I was saying.
Hey, this is to the players. I mean, you guys have been in the program now a while. You won a championship. Did you get your rings yet? No, so those are coming. Okay. So how is practice? You said you have a little bit more spring in your step. How is this team now compared to a year ago?
I think compared to a year ago, we were in a completely different situation. We were, getting tested 9 times a week compared to now. We didn't even know how long the season was going to go for, so we just kind of had a different outlook. But I think what's different is we know that we're going to have a season, but we still have that same gratitude approaching every day. And, we're not taking a second for granted. And Tara preached to us last year that, this is the only time you're going to be in this space with these people. Every year is a new team. So this year we're here without Kiana, but we add 5 new pieces. So I think we're approaching this year, and right now we have a lot of gratitude, a lot of appreciation, but a lot of, energy, a lot of passion, a lot of excitement for the upcoming year. So, yeah.
I think a big part that's different this year is with returning Anna and Alyssa and then getting another upperclassman, Jordan, we have a lot more leadership. We have 4, pretty much returning all of our upperclassmen, and then now Haley's class as upperclassmen. We have a lot more leadership on our team, and I think that's definitely going to help us when we get back to the postseason and having people that were there before. So I think we're really looking forward to, just starting and really seeing everyone step up as leaders.
Lisa Woodward, Pac-12 Network over here. Tara, you're already a Hall of Famer, and you got 3 titles now, and you've done it all. Last year, I would say for all the coaches, was probably the most difficult circumstances ever, and yet you were the team that ultimately won it all. What did you learn that was the key to being the survivor, to get to the top and to win that championship in such a difficult year? And you maybe had more challenges than anybody. So what did you learn about yourself, your team, and from a leadership standpoint?
Well, Lisa, I learned a lot from our team, and, we're so thankful that, I had a job, our families were safe. So, the rest of the world, maybe you had people dying, you had people losing their jobs. We really went to that gym, and we were excited to be in that gym together because we also knew that at any point that gym could be shut down. So I think our team played with a lot of joy. They're a very close team. The adversity that we faced off the court, that everyone faced off the court, we used it to our advantage. When we went down to San Antonio, some teams were like, oh man, you have to test, you have to wear, the monitor. We're like, we'd done that all year long. We went out and bought a ping pong table. We're like, we're going to have fun, and we're here to stay. And we, I think we really enjoyed being with each other. We'd be taking our meals and going to the room that was down there. We could eat in the same room. We appreciated little things. And I will tell you this, I was so proud of our team because throughout the whole year, I did not hear a single complaint. And sometimes it was getting up early to go to test or do the things that we had to do, but they were very mature, and it was a group of young people that were very resilient. And I'm proud of our team, and I'm proud of the whole Pac-12. We represented, I think, the West Coast really well.
Alyssa Charleston, Pac-12 Network over here. Coach, from your perspective, you hear a lot of great competitors say they hate to lose more than they love to win. I want to know how you feel about that, and if it changed pre-pandemic versus after pandemic.
For me,
now that we're still kind of in it a little bit, but yeah, for you, if you have a love for one.
I'm more interested in the game itself than the outcome per se, but I'm not. I like to see our team compete. So I'm happy when our team really competes, and if our team competes and they give their absolute best, I'm happy. Now, no one likes to lose, so it is always better when they give their best effort that we win. But I think that's the main thing to me is that you compete and that you represent. And also, it's not just winning, it's how you feel about winning. When you're sitting down with your team in a circle afterwards and you're just like, you just don't get enough of it. You're sad even if you won a national championship, you're sad because the season is over. You just love coaching a group of young women, and that's how I feel about coaching this team.
And I know I don't want to put you two on the spot and say something like make it seem like you have to say the same thing, but did you guys change that perspective at all? Like the joy of winning the national championship versus, the very rare losses that you had. You only had 2 last year. Whether you love winning or hate losing more.
I think for me, I feel I feel very sad when we lose. But in terms of the whole season, the ending made up for everything that we had gone through, living on the road, those 2 losses that we had. So I think at the end of the day, winning, bigger wins make up for those losses, but we definitely had to go through those losses and learn a lot from those losses to make that win feel that much more special.
Anne-Marie Anderson over here, Pac-12 Network. Lacey, Haley, this way. Hi.
Lexie, I can even tell
Lexie,
apart.
excuse me. Sorry. I've got it right in front of me. Lexie and Haley, I'm wondering what you learned about Tara last year that you didn't know in the years prior. What Tara revealed about herself as you guys went through all of that together. Not what was said under the mask. We have guesses about that.
I knew she was really competitive, but I think that really came out in San Antonio, not necessarily through her coaching, but through her ping pong play. So definitely learned that about her. And also I think, I saw this before we went through the pandemic and last season, but she really does care about us and would always check in. Were we getting meals? If we weren't, she'd get more meals for us, more food for us. Just making sure that we were set up in the best way that we could, which I think really just shows her character and how much she cares for us as people.
Yeah, I would just echo everything that Lexie said, but I think I'd also add we spent an absurd amount of time together as a whole group, but also, us as a team, we hang out all the time, but we spent so much more time with the coaches than we usually would. Usually after practice, we're going to the dining hall and we have our time away. We only see them for those 3-4 hours a day. But I'm having breakfast, lunch, and dinner with our entire staff. So you really get to know them and you get to know different sides of them. And I think, there's still that coach-player relationship, but you know them as more as a person who's, not always your coach. They're just somebody, they're the adult that's there to take care of you. So, I got to see Tara's goofy side. We just made a TikTok today, which is great. But, I think just with the entire staff, you just got to see a different side of them that made them more personable to us. Now, this season, I feel like I'm more comfortable coming to them with issues that I might be having off the court or whatever it may be. They're more personable for us.
Hi, Tara, this is Bruce Pascoe at the Arizona Daily Star. I was just wondering, this league is always strong, but I was wondering your thoughts on the conference race this year, particularly after you face a team like Arizona in the championship game and they're picked 5th. I think your coaches picked them 5th, and kind of how you thought maybe the top of the league might shake out.
Just walking around today, just everybody looks really good to me. I just like, wow, that's going to be a tough game. Wow, that's going to be a tough game. We have a great league, and we have great coaches. We have great players. The fact that so many players came back, I think, is a reflection on each of the teams. But obviously, it's really exciting. I think what's going to be really exciting is the fans coming out, and that's going to be a different challenge because a lot of times you played on the road, but you really weren't on the road, and that's going to be great. And it'll be great to be on Pac-12 Network with the fans and the excitement in the gym. I know as a coach, and I know the players really, really missed not having their families and friends at the games. So I think that'll be a big thing. As far as I can't tell you right now. I don't put any stock in any voting. Every team is really, really good. And if you're not ready to play, you're in for it in our conference.
Hey guys, Ben Parker here, CardinalSportsReport.com. Something that Stanford football players have talked to me about this year is just the bond that student athletes have across campus as a whole. Lots of turnout at the volleyball game, things like that. Just talk about kind of the bond that all of you student athletes had at Stanford, no matter what the sport is, and how that kind of helped you guys maybe push yourselves last year and get through COVID. And then Tara, kind of same question. You just talk about the bondness and the closeness that you guys have with all the teams across campus.
I think that the Stanford athletic community is very small and very tight-knit in any given year, but going through COVID last year and being on testing protocols and only having a few of you on campus, and for the first time we kind of had all the athletes in the same place in a dorm, and even though we weren't really interacting, it was just kind of like that was the only things going on. And so we followed them. I followed them more closely on social media. We made sure to watch each other's games, just kind of checking in, because we all know that we were going through something together that not a lot of other people were on campus for. So I think going into this season, there's a lot of support, and I know, most of the non-athletic students that were there on campus, that weren't there on campus, are just itching to see athletics or itching to just be at social gatherings and social events. So athletics kind of brings that to them, so they're able to go to these outdoor games, and there's, record-breaking student attendance at volleyball and soccer games. So it's really exciting to see, and, we hope that it's going to continue to carry through, winter sports and spring sports.
I think another thing about Stanford sports, which is really special, I think, at our school, is the teams that we're watching, the teams that our friends are on, are teams that are contending for national championships across pretty much every sport. And so it's not only us supporting them, but it's us getting to watch a super fun sporting event, because they're incredible at each of their sports. So I think that makes, supporting each other really easy and really fun.
Just to follow up, the coaches are really close and really supportive of each other. And I know that, I'm in communication a lot with David. I mean, I see Jared all the time in the gym, and I'm at the pool, so I see, Coach Meehan and all the different coaches. And we know what it's like to coach at Stanford, and we help each other. And we have a great group, and it's very supportive.
Cindy Brunson, play-by-play voice, Pac-12 Networks. Coach, for you, let me call you T-Dog, where is that jacket?
Well, I almost needed it for the television stuff because it was so cold in there. But it'll come out in the winter. I know Fran's already wearing hers, but I love that jacket. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really excited to be bringing it out when it gets cold.
Nice. Haley, for you, your experience with USA Basketball winning gold, how is that helping you, and what changed in your game that you'll bring back to the Cardinal?
Yeah, I think every experience with USA Basketball is just such an honor to be a part of. But every time, I'm on a team of 12 girls, and those 12 girls are all, the best in their conference, the best on their team. These names that you hear about on TV all the time, you see on social media. So getting to spend time with them and kind of get to know them for more than just their basketball identity is really special. But also at practice, those practices are intense. You can pick anybody from that roster of 12 and make a starting 5. So playing time is scarce, and so it makes everybody just super competitive, but it's still a place where you're trying to uplift one another because you have a mutual respect for everyone there. But I think it just made me better in every way possible. It gave me a new competitive edge, but it taught me how to make different types of passes, how to defend certain people for the postseason this year. But I think you just pick up little tips and tricks, and having Dawn and Nadia be the coaches, it was really cool to just hear different perspectives on everything. So it was a really fun experience.
And finally, Lexie, for you, I see those big bruises on your knees, and they make my semi-arthritic knees hurt. Can you get T-Dog to get you some knee pads, and what in the world is going on in practice?
I have knee pads. It's my fault. I don't choose to wear them during practice. No, but practice, like we've said, is super competitive. And if you're not diving on the ground, you might not play, So you really have to give everything you can in practice, and my knees are to show for that.
All right, that's all the time we have. Lexie, Haley, Tara, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Arizona will be in next.